You're listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZW LP Conroe.
And 106.1 KZCC LP Conroe. And worldwide on irlonestar.com.
Shall we begin? Let's begin now.
Hello and welcome to the Ticket Stub, your favorite place for movie news and reviews. We broadcast live every Thursday at noon on 104.5 and 106.1 from beautiful Conroe, Texas. You can follow us on Twitter and Facebook at _Ticket Stub or the Ticket Stub Podcast. The Ticket Stub is sponsored by Movie Tavern. Movies never tasted so good. You can visit irlonestar.com for information about the show and sponsorships, or you can drop us a line at 936-647-3776. And please don't forget to leave us a 5-star iTunes review. My name is Connor. I'm one of the hosts of the show. I'm joined in studio, as always, by my friend Chris Appel. How you doing, sir?
Doing good. I'm in the Halloween spirit now. So I'm getting there.
Okay.
Still got 24 days, 25 days, something like that.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, something like that. But you love Halloween.
I do. I went and I got some pumpkins today.
Dude, pump it up, man.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so we're doing just speaking of Halloween, we're doing a special at the Grand Theater. They're having a Halloween
Carnival
on the
Yes.
27th.
On the 27th, it's at 11 a.m. There's going to be games, and a lot of vendors from the area are going to come set up tables. There's going to be trick-or-treating. It's going to be really exciting, and you can watch the movie Casper, the original Casper movie, for $5 at 12.
Oh.
So you can bring the kids out, trick-or-treat.
Is that the Macaulay Culkin? Or not Macaulay Culkin. What?
No, I don't think so.
whatever the Casper,
Christina Ricci.
I believe so.
It may
yes,
be Christina.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Christina.
When you say
Ricci
original,
sounds
isn't there like an actual movie, like a cartoon movie?
Well, it's the original
Well, the-
live action.
Yeah, the original live action. There you go.
So will everything be happening in the foyer area of the Grand, or will it be outside? Or what's
It'll
the
be
plan?
in the lobby down the hallways. We got a ton of vendors, like I said. So
Really?
wherever we can put them,
Are
they've
they-
got their own stuff they're going to hand out.
Are they selling or giving away?
It's giving away, yeah. Trick or treating.
Oh, so you
everybody
go
will
from-
have candy, So we'll
All right,
have
I'm
candy.
gonna-
We'll be
I
there.
gotta ask this question because you're my friend, and I feel like I can.
Okay.
Why?
Dude,
Well-
community outreach, man.
Well, no,
Yeah.
is that what it is? Like, is that the whole idea? Because you said there's gonna be vendors and stuff. Like, when you
Yeah,
say
it's
vendors,
in-
like who? Who do you?
Like Incredible Pizza will be there.
Oh, cool.
Some dance places will be there.
So this is a community
Like-
outreach
like freak dancing,
by
like
the
twerk?
Grand
yeah,
Theater.
freak dancing, break dancing.
Is this your brainchild?
It is not. No,
Okay.
it's all of our locations in the company are doing it.
Okay.
So, but it's not my brain.
So if it fails, you don't have to. You're like, it wasn't me.
No, I think it'll be really successful.
And so we're going to be there doing a live show, though, most importantly.
Yeah, maybe we'll bring some candy. You can come trick or treat.
I don't want to talk to any kids.
Are we just one booth in a long line of booths, or are we going to be off by ourselves?
I don't know. We'll have to see what
we will try to develop a better plan between now and then. But yeah, it's the Halloween season. We all know Chris loves Halloween.
Yeah.
I still remember the show where you wore your Halloween sweater. Was that one of your early shows?
That was yeah, it was last Halloween.
Yeah, was that like one of your first? Yeah,
It was-
I remember way back.
Yeah. It was. I think it was around my sixth permanent show, kind of something like that.
Yeah, I didn't know you as well then, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, he's got a Halloween sweater.
Yeah.
If only I knew now. If only I knew now. Oh, and also the other voice you heard was Dick. How you doing, Dick?
Stub.
Sorry, I didn't introduce you. Well, we've got a
Whatever.
great show today. We've got some fun things to do. We're going to talk about some movie news that we do every week. A few things that are going on, current events in the world of the movie spherical, and we'll also be rewinding the movies that we've seen over the last week. And then we're going to play a game that we've played before. We're bringing it back. It's called Plot Summary. This is where each of us gives the other one a scenario, a movie title, or we give each scenario, has a movie title, an actor, and a location, and then the other person has to take that and run with it, and we see what we come up with, and then we shame each other for having bad examples. So that's
There's
what we're
no real winner. Nobody wins really.
especially not the listener. Everyone loses when we play plot summary. So anyways, that's what we've got, and I think it's gonna be fun. We've got some movie news. We're gonna go ahead and hop right in. Business Insider, I don't know if you guys had a chance to read these articles I sent you or not. Business Insider has an article that the rival company Cinema, which is it weird that it's spelled S-I-N? Like what? Like why?
SIN, yeah.
Like-
So,
like,
wait,
it-
like you're doing something wrong?
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
okay.
almost-
Yeah. I don't know.
it's-
That's a good question.
It's almost like a weird like is it trying to be like erotic movie?
Well, you know, we have neglected that area
Cinema.
of the cinemas. We haven't been talking about the 24-hour video
That's a
places.
good point.
Maybe by next week we can kind of like round up some local owners who do that kind of stuff.
maybe so. That's not what this business model is about.
And
That's why
Chris is like, I own a couple of those.
that's his side business.
Oh man.
But anyways, it's talking about how the Movie Pass rival, and we haven't talked about Movie Pass in a while. By the way, still going strong. Glad I didn't bail. Got my 3 movies last month for free. Well, for
Hold
the
on,
price.
what happened?
Movie Pass is still up and running, man.
What happened last month?
I got my 3 movies. You can only do 3 movies a month now,
Okay.
but I hit my 3 movies.
I
and
heard
so-
that they're doing like unlimited stuff.
Movie Pass?
Yeah.
No.
No, cinema is though.
Okay.
So
trying
cinema
to keep up, man.
says that business is booming as the movie ticket subscription war heats up. That's kind of the like lead into the article, and basically it's just talking about how cinema's acting like they're doing really well. One of the things that they have that that MoviePass doesn't have is several different pricing options. So you can do like a $9.99 a month where you get 2 movies. I think a $7.99 a month where you get 1, but they have some limitations. And then for like $14 and $17.99 a month, you can get 2 and 3 movies with no, like it could be XD, IMAX, D-Box, whatever crazy weird acronyms you want to throw in there. And then for, I think it's $29.99 a month, you can have unlimited movies all you want. So that, I guess they're valuing that more at the $30 range, which is probably more where people
Well,
would
didn't we
actually.
already kind of say that that's what MoviePass should have done?
Yes, for
Oh,
sure.
yes.
But
Instead of just go all in
No.
on $10 a month for whatever.
Yeah, but cinema, and I wonder if they're, I mean, they say they're doing well. I wonder if this is them trying to, I don't know, Chris, what do you think? Is this them trying to act like they're doing well and they're really probably struggling as well? Or do you think this model is actually better?
No, I think clearly they have their head screwed on better than Movie Pass, without a doubt.
You're such a hater. You're the biggest
Well,
hater
no,
of all
I mean,
time.
look, everybody had an opportunity to kick Movie Pass when they were down. They could have put the nail in the coffin, didn't do it. They're
Well,
still around.
I mean, really, but Chris, you have to think about like I get your anger and your angle because
not
you.
anger. I'm just stating
Well, I'm
facts.
saying you're from the other side. Now, if me as a consumer, it's like kind of like Connor.
It was the greatest ride I've ever been on.
Is it really that big of a deal to Connor's lifestyle?
Okay, we've been through this. They promised you a bunch of stuff, got you to sign
Yeah,
up
but
under
Connor-
that, guys, and you didn't
Connor-
get any of it.
Oh, I got a lot of it.
Well, yeah, Connor, as a general user of MoviePass, has it become such a huge problem in your quality of life that you're like, gotta cut it, gotta just.
No, I almost did just because there was a period of time in the work, you know, what we like to call rock bottom. When we were at rock bottom with MoviePass, there was a period where you couldn't actually use the app. Like they would say there was available movies, and then when you'd go to book them, they'd disappear. And so there was about a 2-week stretch where I got screwed a couple times where I was like, I checked in the morning and had the available showtime. I checked a few hours later when it was actually time to go, and it was gone. And that made me mad. Where I
You
was
weren't like in line and it disappeared.
No. I was at home or whatever,
Okay.
and then I still went anyways because I wanted to see that movie,
Yeah.
and so it would just like cost me more money or whatever. But since then, they've kind of come back out of the mire a little bit, where now it's pretty reliable. Like what's there is going to be there all day, and so it may not be
But
every.
wasn't this last weekend Little Women the only movie that you could watch?
Well, I didn't even try. The
Yeah.
last I haven't been to the theater in like 2 weeks because.
Oh,
I know it's been crazy. I've almost gone a couple times just out of like impulse, and I'll check the like what's out, and I'm just like, no desire. Predator was the last movie I saw, so that was I think 2
Okay.
weeks ago, or in theaters, I guess. But you know, it's doing okay. The cinema. I mean, I looked at the $39.99 a month, but that would be, you know, that's a pretty close call for me. Where Movie Pass, I can still get 3 a month for I think it's $14.99 is what it's hitting me, and you know that's
How much does it cost now?
I think it's either 14 or 17. I need to check. I forget what they raised it
So
to.
3 movies for $14.
It's like 15, yeah.
What's the other one? Is another one you just said that for 3
Cinema
movies?
has unlimited for 30 a month, or you can do 3 for like $17.99.
Okay.
Yeah.
So realistically, you're saving like $3 a ticket,
Yeah, something like that, which isn't crazy.
unless
but,
you're going at night, and then it's like a premium time.
yeah, which I usually go at night. I mean, it's normally about a $10 ticket, so I'm saving about more like $5 a ticket, which is good. I mean, that's
Okay.
you know, I'm not gonna be mad about that. I mean, when you compare it to unlimited movies, all you could ever want for $10 a month, it seems like a bad deal. But if you compare it to what I've done for my entire life, which is just pay full price, then you know it's a mitzvah, as they say. So, anyways, cinema, we'll see. I don't know a single person that has cinema.
We actually had a few at the theater.
Okay,
that
so it's
came
a-
up.
it's a rising star.
Yeah, it's starting to branch out a bit.
Well, we'll see. And if they offer better deals, I have no loyalty to MoviePass to say I wouldn't cut ties and buy the new thing. They do the yearly payment though. MoviePass has changed their payment so many times.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes you pay monthly. If you subscribe at certain points, you have to pay yearly. Cinema does the yearly payment, which I'm not a fan of that because I don't trust these businesses.
So you got to drop several $100.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to do the $15 a month, times that by 12, yeah, so you're talking like almost $200.
Yeah,
I don't like that at all because I have no faith that a year from now these companies will still be around.
Yeah.
But if you're paying monthly, then it's all good. All right, Business Insider, another article says that critics say that Venom is so bad that it might actually be good. Thoughts? So it has 27% on Rotten Tomatoes. I want to read some of the quotes from this Business Insider article. I guess these are quotes. This is almost like what Chris does when he reviews movies. So here's what some of the critics are saying. It's a mess, but wow, is it ever a fun, fascinating mess? A movie that initially seemed just plain bad becomes so bad it's good. Or maybe it's just plain good. It's been a full day since I've seen it, and honestly, I'm still not sure either way. I laughed a lot. It would be true to say that The Tongue and Tom Hardy are the making of Sony's venture into the Marvel Universe. That's kind of weird. The tone of this movie is all over the place, and it's the inconsistencies rather than the absence of Tom Holland in a starring role that are Venom's real problems. One more. Venom is neither a triumph nor train wreck. It's a mediocre origin story, a superhero host that sadly fails to bond with its comedy parasite. So one thing I didn't realize about Venom was that apparently it's supposed to be kind of funny. Like, is it robbing a little bit of the Deadpool, mentality here of trying
if that is the case, that has been nowhere in the
trailers,
advertisements.
Yeah. Well, and I only know that because of what these critics are saying.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're laughing at like the way you laugh at a movie that's actually terrible. Maybe they're not laughing at comedy, but they act like there's supposed to be some comedic parts in there at least. I don't know, Dick. Do you know? I mean, you're the nerd. What's the? Well, you are. You always like. Well, back in the comic books, so you have to realize that. So, what's the? Like, what is Venom supposed to be? Is he like the most evil of all evil? Or
no,
something?
it just depends on what source material you're looking
Here we
at.
go. See, this is what I'm talking about.
Like, for example, like
You consult the scrolls.
Yeah.
the tea leaves. No, so it always been, as Eddie Brock has always been the nemesis in a sense to Peter Parker, not Spider-Man and Venom, but like they're always competing, and Eddie Brock has always been the one that was supposed to win. He's always bigger. He's always, he is. Imagine like the football jock who always just won in high school, and now he's not winning, and this little wimp Peter Parker's winning. And that was always kind of the foil to them, their relationship. And when the parasite gets introduced, now Venom felt like he could become as powerful as Spider-Man. Kind of the duality in the comics was always Eddie Brock wanted to be better than Peter Parker.
Oh, like
Venom always
okay,
wanted to be
gotcha.
better. So there are a lot of instances with Venom was he's good and bad, very very Deadpoolish
Really?
kind of
Okay.
thing. And
But he can't control himself, right?
well, that's where it comes down to is, there's so many perspectives of Venom. Like, if you imagine Spider-Man 3, they kind of hit it on the whole, like, he's jealous of Peter Parker, and the Venom just fuels the jealousy.
But
makes
wasn't it Peter
powerful.
Parker who was Venom in Spider-Man 3?
Well, no, there was Venom. That was Topher Grace.
Oh,
He became Venom.
That's right. Yeah. Great casting.
That's what I'm saying, man. It is kind of weird. So to answer your question, you can make Eddie Brock funny because he was kind of the New Yorker, kind of like, kind of not gangster, but I'm talking about. They always kind of jovial with his humor with ladies. Like, oh, there's a nice fox.
Oh,
that kind of stuff.
a nice fox.
That kind of stuff. My favorite thing I've heard about this movie is it's just basically that, hey, did this movie basically go through time? Because it's almost like it came back from the early 2000s comic books.
It feels like a Spider-Man. Like
it feels like a
Tobey Maguire.
Tobey Maguire
Oh, okay.
Spider-Man.
Interesting. Well, I just don't get why Tom Hardy? Why do this? Why make it terrible?
Money, dude.
I know, but like he's rich though. I mean, I know money's money and everything like that, but but was there not another movie he could have made money on that was better than this
I bet
one?
if you think about it, if you look at it as numbers, I bet this movie made him as much money as all the movies he made in the past like 2 years combined. Because he's been doing a lot of small roles
that's
and
probably
stuff.
true.
And I bet he enjoys doing those. But realistically,
One-
hey, who's
one
going
for
to pay for
you.
my AC at my mansion?
Yeah, 1 for you and 3 for me or whatever
Yeah.
they say. What's that? Oh, on that.
Well, plus this movie, like the lose-lose is really not that big of a loss. Like, he got to be a cool action movie star,
Yeah.
and he got the experience of doing a neat movie, and it could have done well.
Yeah.
You never know.
That's a good point.
So, but also, I mean, I think it's just kind of strange when you're looking at an intellectual property that depends so much on other characters being involved, and none of them are involved. You're kind of like, how strong is this debut going to be? Because we don't even have Spider-Man in it.
Well, I think we're hoping probably that this would be good, and then they could bring them to and then the next movies where they come together or something. I don't know.
See,
But-
my
No,
gut.
I don't think that was part of the plan.
Oh, well, sure. Yes. What do you mean it wasn't part of the plan?
No, like
to
if you
bring
look
Spider-Man
at
and Venom
the
together.
the production company wasn't Marvel. Marvel Studios didn't make this movie,
Oh,
and I think a lot of people missed that because Sony was trying to do their own
okay.
superhero. But because Spider-Man, from what I understand about the deal between Sony and Marvel, and I think is it Warner Brothers that owns who does all the other who did Infinity War? Do you know?
no, I don't.
I know Marvel Studios made it. Well, from what I understand about the deal is Sony made a deal with Marvel Studios that it's either a percentage or they get all the box office. But Marvel gets all the toys, the candy, and like everything that goes with it, and they get to use Spider-Man in the other movies. So the Spider-Man Homecoming movie, all money went to Sony.
I think the toys is probably as much money as.
But
they could
use Spider-Man in the Marvel universe, and Marvel makes the money from those.
Okay.
So when he's in Infinity War, they make that money. But when they make Spider-Man 2 Homecoming 500, that's when Sony makes the money. But when they announced Venom, they made it pretty clear, like, oh, we could potentially, but the way they designed the script and everything, it was not going to be, same universe. Because if you basically put Spider-Man from Tom Holland's Spider-Man, they're basically saying Iron Man's in that world too. And they can't. Sony can't do that legally.
Yeah.
So that's the problem they're facing with that. But I also think as money making, just do it. Like, you're gonna make money.
Yeah.
You're stupid not to involve Marvel Studios.
And Marvel makes they seem to make everything better. Chris, what do you think about it?
Well, my gut is telling me that this is not going to be very successful. But I will say this: when the first Iron Man was the eve of the first Iron Man coming out, I said it would flop because nobody knew who Iron Man was. I didn't even know who that was. Obviously, it was a $150 million opener. I was way wrong on that. This could be the same thing, but I feel
but the
like
critics were behind that one a little better. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't 27%.
I feel like this isn't going to be that successful, but we'll see.
Well, I think it also depends on the word of mouth of people. Like, because Iron Man was one of those movies. You have a base, you have a comic book base, and it was okay to them. So if it's okay with the comic book base, that means people are like their aunts and their uncles and whoever's going to go check it out. Because I mean, think about how Iron Man was as a movie. It was not bad.
No, Iron Man was good.
I thought it was good,
Mhm.
and that's why you get 150 million because they made a good comic book movie, which rarely happens.
This would be a very good test of the superhero fatigue thing that
No, I
we
don't think
talked
so.
about.
Yeah.
If
The-
this movie could be the first one to kind of suffer the effects of that, but we'll have to see.
I don't know. There's been other comic book movies that have come out that kind of like not done as well as they thought they were going to be. I know Ant-Man and the Wasp 2, they wanted more money, but they made a lot of money. But it was like when they go down to the yearly report, they're probably not even going to talk about that movie.
Yeah, but I don't know how many Marvel, and I know you could say this is Sony, not Marvel, but I don't know how many of the Marvel Universe movies have not done pretty well.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I think what we're facing as a box office is everything's getting separated from Marvel. So anything not Marvel is going to be the fatigue. But like, for example, do you think when you say superhero fatigue, are you saying Superman and Batman, whatever, fatigued the outcome of Infinity War? I don't think so. I don't think Infinity War was affected at all by the poor performance of DC.
No, but I think DC's almost gotten their own reputation.
Well, that's
now.
what I'm saying. Like, there's when you say superhero fatigue,
What I'm
what
saying,
realm are you talking?
Well, we talked about it that it was on the verge of happening, and I think this could be the movie that's it possibly could be that
At some
start
point,
Uh,
of that.
At some point, I think it will happen. It's the same. You know, the superheroes aren't going to die. It's the same story over and over again. I mean, you can tell it a bunch of different ways, but
Well, it's also with the cast and the off chance of success of Marvel because of everything clicked. Everything's continued to click with the actors. It's a positive experience. I mean, if you look at Star Wars and you look at DC, it's plagued with, gossip and trouble with the director. The director left. Like, that was the crazy thing about Han Solo. Remember they had those two directors and they just left. And then, I mean, there's a reason why people think these movies suck, and it might not because the movie's bad, but it's also the word of mouth. Now, what was it? They're trying to blame it on trolls. Did you read about that? Like, they're trying to claim it on Russian bots, like basically
like
tanking.
actual troll, like bridge trolls.
They're trying to say the Last Jedi was tanked mainly because of Russian trolls were talking crap.
Oh.
And I'm like, I guess that's one way to say you not saying you made a crappy movie, but
yeah.
They ruined Solo and elected Trump. Those freaking trolls.
so
All right, we got to go to break. When we come back from break, we are going to do the rewinds. This is where we talk about the movies that we've seen over the last week. And a little later on in the show, we're going to play a game called Plot Summary, where we give each other a title, an actor, and a location. And we have to come up with what that movie is about. So stick with us here on the Ticket Stub.
The Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service has been dedicated to educating Texans for over a century. In 1915, the Extension Program was established under the federal Smith-Lever Act to deliver university knowledge and agricultural research findings directly to the people. Ever since, AgriLife Extension programs have addressed the emerging issues of the day, serving diverse populations across the state. Texans turn to Extension for solutions in horticulture, agriculture, 4-H and youth, and family and consumer sciences. Extension agents respond not only with answers, but also with resources and services that result in significant returns on investment to boost the economy. Join us Fridays at 1 o'clock for the AgriLife Extension Hour.
Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show. With monthly and weekly slots available on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776.
Have a legal question? Are you a resident of Montgomery County? Call 281-645-6344 to talk to a volunteer attorney from the Woodlands Bar Association. We answer the phones on the first Monday of every month at 281-645-6344 from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. to provide general legal information and information about legal resources to Montgomery County residents.
Did you know that there are over 153 million orphans in the world today? The sad reality is 99% of those kids will likely never be adopted. Core Love is an organization right here in Conroe that takes care of orphan children in Haiti, Honduras, and India. We bring the love of Jesus by providing their 6 basic needs of clean water, proper food, healthcare, education, job skills, and a loving home. Visit corelove.org, that's CORELUV.org. Will you help defend the orphan?
The Ticket Stub is brought to you in part by Movie Tavern, with 2 locations serving the greater Houston area. 18359 Tomball Parkway, just north of Willowbrook Mall, and 9630 FM 1960 Bypass West, across from Deerbrook Mall. The Ticket Stub is sponsored by Movie Tavern. Movie Tavern. Movies never tasted so good.
Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's radio station with talk, music, weather, and traffic for Montgomery County. Have a question, comment about one of our shows? Want to know how to reach a host? Just contact the station on irlonestar.com or call in and leave a message at 936-647-3776. Get involved with your community with Lone Star Community Radio.
Hey Montgomery County and online listeners, thank you so very much for checking out Jazzy Vibes with Soul. What? You haven't done so yet? Well, you've got to tune in. Hi, I am the host of Jazzy Vibes with Soul, Miss CeCe Holmes, and I invite you to check us out every Friday and Saturday from 7 until 9 p.m., where you will get the best in old school R&B and, of course, a little smooth jazz to make it jazzy. So tune in. That's right, tune in every Friday and Saturday right here on Conroe's 104.5 and 106.1 FM or worldwide at irlonestar.com.
All right, we're back on the Ticket Stub. If you missed us first segment, we talked about Venom. Is it so bad that it's actually good? And we also talked about cinema. cinema being better than Movie Pass, and whether or not that's true. What we're going to do now is we're going to rewind. This is where we talk about the movies that we've seen over the last week. Later on in the show, we're going to play a little game called Plot Summary. We're going to talk about how you could win 2 tickets to the Grand Theater. So as we get started, Chris, I'm going to throw it to you. Rewind. What is the movie that you were able to watch this week?
I saw Young Frankenstein.
Okay, so is everyone going to be a Halloween related for the next 4 episodes?
I hope so.
It probably.
Okay,
I would imagine.
Have you seen Hulu has their Huluween now?
That is awesome, and it's 8. I think it's 8 short films. They're all 5 minutes long. It's the Huluween Film Festival,
and they also have like just a bunch of Halloween movies recommended under the same little channel.
Those 5-minute short films are great. I would recommend anybody check.
Did you watch them all?
I did.
Okay,
they're only 5 minutes.
There you go.
So it was like a half hour
or 40 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not a math scientist. But anyway, Young Frankenstein from 1974, directed by Mel Brooks. It's got 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. And I saw this at the theater, actually, because we were running it as part of our flashback cinema. So it was neat.
Cinema?
So we could to see it on the big screen was really cool. And we've got a couple of
Was it
other
just
good
you
ones.
in the theater, or was it like actually you watched it during the showtime?
Yeah.
Oh.
And there's people in there. And so we've also got the original Halloween, John Carpenter's Halloween. That's coming up next week. And then we've got Beetlejuice coming up and The Shining on actual Halloween. So,
really? See,
yes.
Okay, I need to do that because I will. Can I be full-fledged admitting here? I have not seen the entire The Shining all the way through, which is like I don't.
Well,
I should probably quit the show.
time to do
I should
it.
probably quit the show right now. But yeah, is it at night on Halloween? Like
It's Halloween night, but it's also the Sunday before. So at 2 and 7 on the Sunday before.
That's a good call.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that during our thing?
Well, we're gonna be there Saturday. This is gonna be
Oh,
on Sunday.
yeah, gotcha.
So we're gonna have that. It's really cool. But anyway, Young Frankenstein. So it stars Gene Wilder, Marty Feldman, Peter Boyle, Madeline Kahn, and Terry Garr. It's basically the story is that Victor Frankenstein he dies, and his nephew is Gene Wilder, and he goes by Frederick Frankenstein because he doesn't have anything to do with his uncle Victor. But I guess his uncle left him the house and the laboratory and everything, so he decides to take on his uncle's work and actually create a living person out of dead tissue. So this is always considered what?
Sorry.
I'm pausing. I had to this facial recognition thing. The facial recognition it takes a minute.
Apple.
Yeah. So this movie's really considered to be like one of the be-all, end-all comedy movies of all time. It's a little bit tedious to get through. I'm gonna get blasted about this.
You've seen this before, right?
I have.
I understand what you mean. I understand what you mean by it being tedious.
Well, I think some of it's just like old comedies from the 70s. Like how many comedies from the 70s really hold up? Like I just feel like comedic filmmaking and comedic timing and it's changed so much that if you compare it to something from now, it's just hard to go back in time, I guess.
Well, I would say like those, like the Mel Brooks movies and the Monty Python movies, they're very refreshing because no one really does the comedy like those movies. So
Yes.
watching that movie, I would say like it captivates you just because it's interesting, because it's different.
Mm-hmm.
Now, does it make it good? Depends on how you feel after the end of the movie.
Well, it's a really good movie, I think, for families like with kids who are maybe like 10 or 11, and you're just going to start introducing them to like, Halloween scary-ish movies, because it's not scary at all, but it has that old look and that old feel like of some of the movies that you might not want to show them. There's nothing inappropriate. And the jokes are, they're kind of dumb.
Yeah.
But, like where she's talking about, do you want to take a roll in the hay? And then he's like, what? And she's like, roll, and just like rolling back and forth in the hay. That's pretty funny though. And Peter Boyle as the monster is just fantastic. That whole thing. And it's, you just don't see stuff like this nowadays, and I wish there would be more like it. But as far as you can't watch it like back to back. This is definitely you got to have a few years between viewings.
Okay, so it was good to see it again, though. Good to
Yes,
refresh.
yeah, it was really cool on the big screen. It looked great.
And so for people looking to start their Halloween season off, this would be one to throw in the queue and check out at some
definitely.
point over the next few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, great one to provide for the people. Good service to the people there,
Yeah.
Chris. All right, Dick, what'd you watch?
I watched the 2018 movie Hurricane Heist, The Hurricane Heist. And it is available on Netflix to stream. and I think you might have reviewed this a while back in theaters.
I don't think I saw this.
But one thing that I liked about it, and I'll just kind of go over the gist. I'll give you the synopsis. Basically, thieves attempt a massive heist against the U.S. Treasury as a Category 5 hurricane approaches one of its mint facilities. So,
yeah, I definitely didn't see this. Why would I have not seen it?
Well, I just like stupid action movies, but comment on this one. There's a lot of big players involved in making the movie. So it's directed by Rob Cohen, and I don't know. Do you know anyone know who Rob Cohen is?
Is he one of the Cohen brothers?
No, he's directed
because that would have made this
his
good.
career is very lengthy. But he's directed, like, to kind of point out, like, he helped produce, like, he was produced in the very beginning. He helped produce The Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, wow.
He directed the movie Stealth. He directed the movie Fast and the Furious, the very first one.
Triple X.
Triple X. Like,
Skulls.
I like Triple X.
He has a good history.
The Skulls,
and
underrated. I love the Skulls.
He directed these movies. To me, he's a bona fide director. And so that caught my eye.
He's
and
bona
then
fide.
some of the actors in it that I really like. Toby Kebbell is one of the brothers in the movie, and I like him a lot. Toby Kebbell's an English actor. He was in like Rock and Rolla. He was in Planet of the Apes. I think he played actually one of the apes. Other movies he's in, Kong Skull Island. I'm trying to think what else people might.
He was in Warcraft.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I don't want to tell you. I like that movie, But he
was in an episode of Black Mirror.
Yeah, he's in a lot of he's a good actor. And then outside those people, it's just kind of random hit or miss, like who's in it. Ben Cross is in it. He's a veteran actor. I don't know if you know who Ben Cross is.
Please respect Maggie Grace and mention her name.
Well, Maggie Grace is in it, but she's kind of a TV actress, isn't she?
Yeah, mostly.
And then another thing, this is good for all the cinema people. The director of photography is Shelley Johnson, who actually did like Hidalgo, Captain America, The Wolfman, Jurassic Park 3. Like there's bona fide people doing this movie.
Yeah.
All right, was it good or not? I mean, we know everybody doing it now.
Well, I'm trying to let you know that it was.
Did you like it?
Was I enjoyed the whole thing.
Okay.
But it's definitely reminded me of like straight to DVD, like the when the hurricane was hitting things. There's some great deaths, but the acting, the whole thing. My favorite part, one of my favorite reoccurring is it took place. I want to say in Georgia. And it was just like everyone either had that real drawn accent, especially knowing that Toby actor is an English guy, and he's sitting there. Oh man, there's some great scenes, and I encourage people who like stupid movies to check it out. It's streaming on Netflix. It's really well done in a sense of it's not one of those movies where there's plot holes. Of course, it's gonna be like it's a heist during a hurricane, folks. But
did they plan the heist because of the hurricane?
Well, that's where there's a twist.
Oh,
so
don't say it.
I'm not gonna say it, but that was there was a lot. It's just funny, man.
Oh, did they cause the hurricane with some sort of like nanobot technology?
Oh boy,
no. There was some. I mean, some of the stuff is just so great. It's so ridiculous. Like the opening scene is they lost their dad in a hurricane, and the two young sons grow up. One of them is a meteorologist who drives around this 4x4 tank, and that's Toby Kebbell, and he's in the area doing surveying. And then his brother, who's an alcoholic mechanic who lives in the town, and so
he causes hurricanes.
No, it's just like
so the one brother tracks them and the other causes them.
But it's
the world will pay for what happened.
I would
to
check
my
it
father.
out if you're hanging out with your buddies and want to hang out and watch a stupid movie. Check it out. Hurricane Heist on Netflix.
All right. Well, I don't want to call this a cop out. This is not a standard traditional film, if you will, but it's over 60 minutes. Which on like episode 1, when me and Dick decided what a movie would be in this podcast, we said over 60 minutes. So I'm sticking to that.
Okay.
It is and I've done comedy specials before, once or twice. This is Joe Rogan has a new comedy special out
I saw it.
called Strange Times on Netflix. Have you watched it?
Yeah, I watched it.
And so, anyways,
I would never have thought I'd do it on the show because we do movies. But
well, I'm trying to bring something a little bit different to the table here, and I didn't have time to get to the theater to see something new, like that's out, which is what I usually try to be the one that sees the new releases. Plus, the movies are garbage right now, unless you want to go see Night School, which seems like a atrocity.
Before you get to your review of the Joe Rogan, did anyone not know Night School was out until like 3 days before it came out?
No, unfortunately, I saw the previews.
There was a lot of previews.
See, I had no idea until social media they started doing that. And I was like, wouldn't this movie is a Kevin Hart movie? Wouldn't that be like?
No,
I would have known about that like
at least like around football. There was a lot of previews going on. Well, they were looking for like the mouth breathing football fans that would be like, oh, Kevin Hart. Yeah. Anyways,
Is that what this was?
Oh my goodness.
that's what the Cowboys fans sound like. Oh. Yeah. Anyways, Joe Rogan has a new comedy special on Netflix. I've always liked him, I guess, enough. More recently, I've gotten into being a pretty avid listener of his podcast.
Yeah.
I had another podcast that I was a daily listener to, and kind of got after
Which
about
one was that?
Adam Carolla, and he did about an hour and a half every day, and I consumed all of it. And after about 6 years of doing that every single day, I got a little bit fatigued, and so I've kind of moved some of that time over to Joe Rogan and here, and he just does his is like they're 3 hours long every time, but he has really interesting conversations. They're not really even comedy podcasts. They're just kind of like talking about whatever's going on with life.
Is it daily?
No, it's several times a week. I don't know that it's
Well, I would encourage people to check it out, and just the way I've been listening to Joe Rogan for probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 years. And what I like about it is he kind of says who's coming in, and so you don't have to listen to every single one to get the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
And then he has like really interesting people sometimes. Then he has really he talks like with fighters. I don't know anything about MMA.
Yeah,
I skipped the UFC.
I skipped the UFC ones, but he has a lot of. Some are political, some are about fitness, some are about
Elon Musk
science,
on
technology.
a couple weeks
The Elon
ago.
Musk one was great, and then right after that, Elon Musk got in like big trouble for some other stuff, and that meme of him smoking weed went around the whole internet. But like right now, I'm listening to one where he's interviewing a vegan and like a hardcore like meat advocate or whatever, and they're just having a conversation. But anyways, that's not what this was. This is just him.
He's also a comedian.
Yeah, he's also more importantly a comedian.
I know him from Fear Factor.
And he was also the host of Fear Factor, and he jokes about that sometimes too. But what I like, it's called Strange Times, and I won't say too much about it. It's on Netflix. I love a good comedy special. They're an hour long. They don't take a whole lot of, you don't have to get super invested in a story. You can just listen, like if you're getting ready in the morning or whatever, you can just listen. Especially the ones Netflix are producing now are very good. I mean, Netflix has really found their niche in this comedy world. But I like that he hit, if you want somebody to joke about the political climate and the correctness, I mean, he does a lot of that kind of stuff in this special. It's a lot about, the words you're allowed to say or not allowed to say. I think he's a very open-minded guy, but he's very practical. And so there are things that he hears people say where he's just like, I'm as open-minded and accepting as anybody, but that doesn't make any sense. And so then he'll make it, and then he'll joke about him. I just don't think he cares. Like, he just couldn't care less if people are mad at him, if people say anything afterwards or whatever else. So I don't know. I thought that was kind of funny that where people are tiptoeing around things nowadays, he just kind of dove straight in.
I think most comedians nowadays, from what I'm hearing, and even Tim Allen was like this as well, is they're just absolutely fed up with having to worry about what they say, and they pretty much just given up. Like, they're just like, I'm going to say whatever I want to say.
Yeah.
And then they do. So.
Yeah. So anyways, if you want a good comedy special, Joe Rogan Strange Times, streaming on Netflix, definitely one worth checking out. All right, well, here's what we're going to do now. We're going to hard transition to plot summary. What I want for us to do, the game.
Oh, hold on. Before we start, you watched the first episode, right? The Last Man Standing?
I did.
Was it the best thing ever?
Well, no, it was good. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It ended up doing.
That doesn't sound as excited.
It was 11. Well, yeah, but it was 11.5 million viewers. It was the highest rated show that Fox has done in the past 7 years on Friday nights, and I think any night it was like the last 18 years or something. It was their highest.
I thought they
rated.
screwed it up by releasing it on Twitter first or something.
I think it would have been higher than 11.
Yeah.
But 11's
Were
with
they
all the
released on Twitter?
DVRs.
He said they leaked the episode.
They leaked the episode
like the studio
a week
did. Fox
early.
did.
Yeah, as a thank you to fans, and it had like 600 or 700 something thousand viewers on there, which I didn't really get.
You watched it on Twitter?
Yeah, yeah,
Dude,
it was on
you
Twitter.
sound like an old man right now.
No, but
I mean, who wants to watch something on Twitter?
No,
I also watched it when it came out on Friday.
You can Twitter has apps and stuff. Like you don't have to watch
Yeah.
You can watch it on your phone, your tablet, your computer, your Apple
No, I
TV.
get that, but I always thought Twitter was like updating.
Dick, you sound so lame right now.
Oh,
you sound
okay.
so lame. No, you click it like a video screen and it takes you into like a video player and you watch
No,
it.
I understand that.
Yeah.
But I meant
Well,
like.
then what's confusing?
So the next day when I check my Twitter, I don't see it anymore.
Yeah, it stays. It archives. Like
Okay. So you have to search for it. So I can look it up right now?
I don't believe it's on there anymore. No.
Oh.
they can take it down.
Well, it was supposed to be for 24 hours, and then somebody pirated, put it on
Of
YouTube.
course, yeah, stupid.
Yeah, then it was just out there.
Wow,
so I
who
think
coulda
that,
thought? Who
I
coulda
think that
thought?
hurt the ratings a little bit. So tomorrow, the second episode, we'll see how much viewership that retains. I think it should do pretty well.
All right. Well, congrats, Chad and Chris and everyone else for Last Man Standing. All right, we're moving to the plot summary now. So here's what we're gonna do. Chris, you're gonna let's just do a little circle here. Chris,
Okay.
you're gonna give me your topic. Dick, I'm gonna give you my topic. and then Dick, you give Chris the topic.
Okay.
Is that fine?
Yeah, that's.
Does that mess it up?
No, it doesn't.
you
I
wanna
just know he's gonna like really mess me up.
Yeah,
But
that's why I wanted to go this direction.
So,
Okay.
okay, let's just clarify what's going on with.
So you have to give a title, a location, and an actor,
and then we make a movie.
And then we're gonna go to break, and when we come back from break, we're gonna talk about the movie that we've come up with.
So why did you say topic?
I didn't mean topic. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
That's what kind of threw me
I meant
off.
title. I keep saying things wrong. Title, location, actor. So Chris, you'll go first to me, and
Okay, the location is a school bus.
Okay.
The actor is John Candy.
Okay.
And the title is The Tainted Experiment.
Okay. The Tainted Experiment. So John Candy, we're assuming live. John.
Yes,
Okay. We're
live John
We're not
Candy.
assuming dead John Candy because that would be a different. Well, although the experiment
We
could
miss
be
John
on his
Candy. He needs
the tainted experiment could be on his dead, decaying corpse.
Well, don't give it
let
away.
me- yeah. Ooh.
Don't ruin it.
Let me save that for later on.
Yeah.
Okay. Dick, you ready?
Okay.
Okay. The title of the movie, actually, the location of the movie, is London.
London.
I like the typing noises. Yeah. The title of the movie is Muffin Tops.
Ooh.
And the actor is Steve Buscemi. Steve Buscemi and Muffin Tops in London. All right. And Dick, do you have one to give to Chris?
All right. So the title of the movie is 2 Inches.
Man.
The location is Bill Cosby's trailer.
Come on, man.
An actor is Hillary Duff.
Oh, come on.
During her TV show. That's the Hillary the timeline I'm letting you know.
What TV show?
Whatever
Like
TV,
early 2000s.
Yeah, is it Lizzie McGuire?
Lizzie McGuire.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So there you go.
All right. Well, we're going to go to break. And then we're all going to get arrested.
No,
but-
you just gotta make it.
Yeah.
I mean, he gave me Muffin Top. I already know what I'm thinking about.
Everybody turned into Jay Leno there for a second.
All right. Yeah, that's it. When we come back from break, we're going to talk about the movies that we have now created using the plot summaries that we've given each other. So stick
2
with us
inches.
here on the Ticket Stub.
2 inches.
The Ticket Stub is brought to you in part by Movie Tavern, with 2 locations serving the greater Houston area. 18359 Tomball Parkway, just north of Willowbrook Mall, and 9630 FM 1960 Bypass West, across from Deerbrook Mall. The Ticket Stub is sponsored by Movie Tavern. Movie Tavern. Movies never tasted so good.
Listen in Mondays at noon to hear Conroe news from local nonprofits, businesses, upcoming events, Conroe Park events, news stories, and information that matters to you with your host, Margie Taylor of Taylorized PR. For more information about being a guest, visit irlonestar.com/Conroe Culture.
Does volunteering at a nonprofit horse sanctuary sound wonderful? Or are you a veteran or a veteran spouse and think trying a peer group session through a local Horses and Heroes equine program might be worth trying? Henry's Home Horse and Human Sanctuary, located in Grand Central Park by appointment only, is home to a growing number of rescued and donated horses. Visit our website at henryshomehorsesanctuary.org or check out our Facebook at Henry's Home Horse and Human Sanctuary for more information.
A Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's radio station with talk, music, weather, and traffic for Montgomery County. Have a question or comment about one of our shows? Want to know how to reach a host? Just contact the station at irlonestar.com or call in and leave a message at 936-647-3776. Get involved with your community with Lone Star Community Radio.
For those of you who like your partners, your gumbo, and your music salty, well, we're here to help with the music. Julian Shea here, host of Lone Star Country Nights Thursday, your weekly dose of roots and Americana and all the music that makes this part of the country special. We stir in Western swing, honky-tonk, Zydeco, Texas blues, outlaw country, and put a pinch of red dirt, and then we smoke it over a slow fire. Then listen to the results Thursday nights on Conroe's 104.5 and 106.1 and worldwide at irlonestar.com.
All right, we're back on the Ticket Stub. We do want to
All right.
mention that the Ticket Stub is brought to you by Movie Tavern. Movies never tasted so good, and we come live every Thursday on 104.5 and 106.1 FM in the Conroe area, worldwide on irlonestar.com, podcast feeds, Facebook Live, YouTube, etc., etc., etc. Be sure to like us, follow us, rate us, everything good you can do, and tell a friend. So Stub Nation, the Stub Army, so that the Stubbies will continue to multiply, because it just makes things more fun when there's more people out there listening, responding. Don't be afraid to tweet at us, Facebook at us, everything like that. All right, it's time for Plot Summary. So this is a game where we each come up with a scenario in which there's a movie title, an actor, a location. We trade them around, and then we have to, on the spot or over the break, come up with a movie that we try to see if it's worthy or not. And then we berate each other for doing a terrible job coming up with each other's movies. Just to recap, Chris gave me a school bus with John Candy titled The Tainted Experiment. I gave Dick Muffin Tops is the title, London is the location, Steve Buscemi is the actor, and Dick gave Chris Bill Cosby's trailer titled 2 Inches, starring Hilary Duff from Lizzie McGuire era. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. Chris, let's go ahead. You want to go first, or do you want to?
Oh, sure.
Okay.
Sure. Why?
All right.
Why not? It's not going to be any worse later than it is now.
All right. Well, let's see what you got.
All right. So 2 Inches is a movie about Hilary Duff is the cleaning lady for Bill Cosby.
Good start.
Yeah. And she cleans all his trailers. Her name is Frances Crocker.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Good, yeah, name.
Yeah. So one day she's going, this is back in the, it's a period piece. It's going to be back in the
Bill
Cosby
Cosby's
Show.
trailer. Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be back in the Cosby Show days where he had the trailer.
Okay.
But she goes in to clean the trailer. And, usually, he's a pretty clean guy. He's like clean up after himself, take care of all
Mr.
the
Huxtable.
loose ends,
Yeah.
for various reasons. And so she sees his Emmy is 2 inches askew to the left.
Okay.
And she's like,
Interesting.
well, this is not correct because
He
no
keeps
one
everything
touches.
perfect. Yeah.
Nobody touches Mr. Cosby's
You
Emmy.
dare not. Yeah.
No, you don't. So she was very, very, very distraught that had been touched because she didn't want to be accused of that.
So someone touched something
but he's
that
gonna
shouldn't have
know.
been touched?
Yeah, yeah. So she goes on this but she never leaves the trailer. It's just like an investigation.
It's a
that
limited,
she's
limited
doing.
storytelling.
Yes. And so eventually she's like digging around and she finds all this stuff, like all these pictures of like ladies, like like Polaroid pictures
Of other cleaning ladies?
Of
Oh,
other
that'd be a good
just
twist.
regular ladies or whatever. Polaroids.
Okay.
They're very various states of disrobed.
Oh, gosh.
And
Okay.
so, yeah, and she's like, well, this is weird because he's America's dad.
Yeah, so-
Why would he have this? So she just starts digging around. Then she finds like these weird, pill bottles and stuff like
Okay,
that.
so we're going full into it. Here we
Yeah.
go.
So she finds all that stuff, and then she realizes that, well, I'm just not going to say anything for 30 years.
Oh, she says, I'm going to tell people about this
Yes.
in 30 years.
Yes. Fast forward 30 years later, boom. He's
Got
on
him.
trial.
And it's all
Now
because
he's in jail.
it's all because his Emmy was.
Yes, it was 2 inches askew, and that's why the movie was called 2 Inches.
That's Lifetime right there.
That is
That's Lifetime. I
That's
like
solid.
it.
All right, we got to hurry through these. Dick, what you got?
All right, so I had London, Muffin Tops, and Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
Okay, so Steve Buscemi plays David Velturi.
Oh. Okay.
From The Wedding Singer.
Oh, that's an actual
continuation.
thing. Gotcha.
He finds himself right now. The opening movie of the movie is he's going through the 5 stages of grief, which we saw at the beginning of the stages was we saw in The Wedding Singer, and he lost a loved one, and in her honor, he opens up a muffin shop in London, or starts one with the community or whatever. Well, down the road, a hot, sexy competitor moves down the block who just sells muffin tops.
Uh-oh. Real Seinfeld situation here.
So they go through the muffin top, and he still continues his 5 stages of grief, but while learning about himself and also the value of his life. And sometimes the muffin top is just okay.
Oh.
And through the competitor, he learns all this stuff.
He learns to love and live.
And learns to love and live. And the closing scene will be Adam Sandler and, all of them. Drew Barrymore come, and they come to sing at his wedding with the muffin top competitor.
Oh, so this is like a tearjerker.
There you go.
Okay, so this is like a rom-com with some heart, with a little bit of life to it. Yeah, I like that. Man, a muffin top. You took it in a different direction than I thought, but that's moving. All right, I had School Bus with John Candy titled The Tainted Experiment. So stick with me because this one's got some twists, okay? So John Candy is a bus driver, okay? And one day on his normal route, he abducts a bus full of kids that was headed to school. And in kind of like a speed fashion, he is ransoming them, saying that you've got to pay me my money or I'm not going to let these kids off the bus. And so he messages somehow all the parents. And the twist is he has rigged every seat on the bus with a deploy mechanism. And every hour, there's going to be a randomized deploy of one of these kids that's going to throw them out the roof of the bus.
Out the roof. Oh,
and will probably die. I mean, who knows? I mean, they're going to get shot really high up into the air. So the pressure's really on these parents, or else he's going to be ejecting all these kids. No, the twist is that it's a social experiment, the tainted experiment. It's a social experiment to see how the parents will react to the stress. And it's this company who's trying out this new stress tool to see how the parents will manage all the stress in the midst of all this chaos. Double twist. The experiment people didn't know John Candy's crazy, and he actually did rig the seats up, and he does kill all those kids. So then at the end, yeah. So then
Wow.
So then at
I
the
thought this was like a seatbelt commercial.
My goodness.
No. So then at the end, the parents get approached by the company like, oh, sorry, this was all just an experiment and it's all fake. Oh, wait, flash forward to a few hours later. Oh, it was not fake. He really did murder all your children. And then it cuts
Just like Cabin in the Woods kind of scenario?
Yeah, fade to black. And the parents are left there in their grief. But the crazy fifth twist is that this company gets even better results than they could have ever imagined because the parents experience huge grief and then a great relief and then even worse grief the second time. So they're able to test their product at a level they never thought.
Wow.
And prevent and produce. And so the experiment's tainted because John Candy goes off the rails, but it really does work in the end. So anyways, a lot of twists.
Pretty good. I would watch that.
A lot of twists involved in that one. So yeah, pretty crazy. All right. Well, that is plot summary, man. As always, we never fail.
We should probably call it the pitch.
The pitch. Oh, that's a good name. The pitch. Okay. Well, sorry. Pitch.
Yeah.
From now on, we played it 3 times with one name, but now we'll pivot it to another.
Well, I'm just saying because we got to go through the whole movie.
That's a good point. So, all right. Well, if you want to win tickets to the Grand next week, Star is Born comes out this weekend, and the question is, what actor almost landed Bradley Cooper's lead role in 2002 when they first tried to get this movie made? So the first iteration was brought forward about 2002. There was a major actor that was trying to get himself attached, and it fell apart. Who is that actor? Anyways, we got another great show coming out next week. We'll do more news. We'll do more rewinds. We'll have another game. And later on in the month, are we doing Nell for group rewind? Did we decide that?
Yeah, I thought we did.
Just wanted to make sure we're group
Nell?
rewinding a movie called, I think it's called Nell. She's at least the main character, Jodie Foster.
Okay.
Check it out. And also later in the month, we're going to have our Halloween special at the Grand Theater. So everybody, a lot of good stuff coming up this month. Tell a friend, tune in. Glad you did. Hope you had a good time this week. My name's Connor for Chris and Dick, signing off on the Ticket Stub.